I'm making this video because I want NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and the United Nations, right, to understand why, you know, we are being murdered in the street the way we are. You know, there's something called the Second Amendment, right? Now, the Second Amendment shall not be infringed. Okay, so when you say shall not be infringed, that means you can't even make a gun law. You don't, you can't force somebody to get a permit or any of that. Shall not be infringed mean what it means. The reason why the Second Amendment says that shall not be infringed is because we have a right to protect ourselves and our property. You see what I'm saying? So, as a God given right to protect ourselves, that means by any means necessary. Okay? This is why the First Amendment, the Second Amendment says, shall not be infringed. So that means even if you see somebody with a firearm, you can't infringe on that. No one can. Even the policy and code enforcers, they think that they can in their mind because for so long they've been using the color of law, black codes. You see, but you can't use those black codes against us on this land because we not black. We not, you can't use something against us that we not. We are the American people. We are supposed to have guns. We are supposed to be able to protect ourselves. We are supposed to be able to defend ourselves and our land, you see, against foreign and domestic. You see, we don't understand that. And the police don't understand that. You see what I'm saying? Now, NATO, this is why we get murdered because of this right here. Just watch.
Reason why we're here. Is your permit? Yeah. Okay. Charlie. I don't know. I thought you.
No, I didn't take this one.
Oh. So
No, that's fine.
you can just ride around and carry all these.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Lackluster channel. For this video, it is important to understand a few basics that differentiate a rifle, an SBR, and an AR pistol, a Maryland handgun permit. This is a rifle, also known as a long gun, with a barrel of 16 inches or longer. If a rifle's barrel is shorter than 16 inches, or the overall length of the weapon is 26 inches, the weapon is classified as a short-barreled rifle or SBR. You can also open carry an SBR without a permit, but you need to jump through extra hoops with the ATF and pay an extra $200 to buy one. If you remove the stock and don't add a vertical grip, the weapon can be sold as an AR pistol. However, an AR pistol can have an accessory that looks like a stock but is actually a forearm brace. On March 1st of 2022, an unidentified man went to a Lowe's home improvement store to purchase a door, during which he open carried a Bear Creek Arsenal AR pistol and a Taurus pistol. Police were called for the man's lawful activity and detained him in his vehicle.
Sir, do me a favor, guys. Clear the scene. Hey, do me a favor. Clear the scene for me. Back up. Keep backing up. There's a reason why we're here.
As backup arrives, the first on scene is seen reaching into the man's vehicle to disarm him.
W151 headquarters, copy. Maryland tag.
Okay.
1 Edward Charlie 5899, Black Ford Taurus.
The first weapon seized is a Taurus. It is loaded, with a round in the chamber and an extra magazine to go with it. Officer Stallman receives the weapon but does not clear it, and during the next few moments, she continues to manipulate the loaded firearm, negligently aiming it directly at her coworkers and the detained individual.
King Road 29, I've got a handgun. I'll give you a make and model in a second. It's gonna be a Taurus handgun. Let me know when you're ready for the serial number. Adam Baker David 503021.
Headquarters advising you're ready for a second. Time to long gun.
see somebody
Go
wasn't.
next. He's got permit.
Okay. License.
And if you get Bear Creek
Is your
Arsenal,
permit?
Bravo, Bravo, Charlie, Alpha, 15, serial number of Bravo, 01842.
Now understand right here, this is the government, politicians, police infringing on your right, your human right to defend yourself. This is infringement right here. What you're about to see is infringement. They're infringing. The government is infringing on your rights, your human rights. You do not need any of that stuff according to the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment, you have a Second Amendment that shall not be infringed. But this is infringement. Right here. This is infringement.
Spires 24.
Right there. That's infringement.
Did you already run his name?
Her partner now flags her with the loaded AR pistol, identifiable by the forearm brace. They now have the man's permit to carry, and the detention should end there, as it shows he is lawfully carrying both pistols. This man has 3 stripes, but now asks another officer with 1 stripe to clear the weapon for him.
No, yet. I was too busy getting the guns.
W151 headquarters, I know we've been giving you a lot.
Hey.
I've got a name and date of birth. Who do you have as the registered owner?
What's that?
All of this
Okay.
That's right.
I
is
got it.
terrorism. Now, those cards that he handed them are infringement cards. If you have a right to bear arms, why do you need a card from the government? Because they're infringing on your right. They're using the color of law, black codes. So you got to ask for permission to defend yourself. And this is what happens. Even after you get permission from them to defend yourself, this is what happens. So, how do they know if you have a permit or not? You see, they have to ask, they have to get it from you. So to just see you with a gun and kill you without getting that permit, what do you call that? Now, once you have that permit, this is what you have to go through. NATO, Department of Justice, United Nations. After you get the permit, this is what you have to go through. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. How can you have a Second Amendment right that shall not be infringed, and as soon as the police see you or someone sees you with the gun and calls 911, this is what happens? NATO, how is that? When you have a God-given right to defend yourself, how can someone call 911, the policy and code enforcers, and they come and do all of this for your God-given right? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Unless they're using the color of law, black codes, slave codes. So understand, getting a permit to carry a firearm is deprivation of rights under the color of law. If you ask the government for permission to defend yourself, that's deprivation of rights under the color of law. You don't have to ask them to defend yourself. You have that God-given right. And they also wrote the Second Amendment that shall not be infringed. So they wrote something, and then they're using the color of law against what they wrote. NATO, United Nations, Department of Justice. I mean, I'm not lying. Here's the evidence right here. I mean, damn.
On the first 1030 use handguns registered at
Registered.
10-4. Just hang with him.
The officer with 3 stripes now realizes that the other pistol has not been cleared and takes it upon himself to do it without checking his backstop. In this case, the officer's handling of the weapon is amateur at best, and a negligent discharge is a high risk.
You can't clear this one?
I don't know. I thought you.
No, I didn't take this one.
Oh. No. Oh. No. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Got it.
So he's unrestricted on that thing. We just need to call the gunslinger.
Okay.
See,
What did he have on him in the store?
So he had this strapped around him, right around his midsection,
Okay.
and he had this in his waistband.
Now, all of you that are watching this, in your mind, he's going to jail. They're going to come up with a way to take his guns and throw him in jail. Even though he has concealed and carry permits, he has open carry permits, he done paid for all of that stuff. In your mind, he shouldn't be able to do what he's doing. Defending himself, carrying a firearm. In your mind, he's breaking the law. In your mind, he has no right to carry a gun. Only criminals carry guns. In your mind, no one has the right to defend themselves. No one has the right to carry a gun except for a police, a policy and code enforcer. In your mind, understand that. Your mind, you are the problem. You understand that.
The officers further show their incompetency by demonstrating that they don't know the laws regarding open or concealed carry for a man with a permit that allowed him to do both, and that they do not understand the difference between a short-barreled rifle and an AR pistol.
What's the rule with that?
it's actually going to be an SP. It's going to be considered a handgun.
A handgun.
Yeah,
So it's legal?
I mean, both. Yeah, because they're kind of responsible. But we need to call guns. So
Even with this?
one here.
What's that?
I mean,
It's still probably a 223.
yeah, it's a 53.
Instead of a short barrel. Who wants to handle by the way?
I am.
Okay,
It's fine.
just call the gun center, give him what you got,
Okay.
because he's carrying out a restricted permit, so it's not like he's violating carrier's permit. But tell him to be
Okay. Also, sir, just to let you know, there is a body camera on scene recording video and audio.
recording as well.
Okay, yep.
The officers determine that he has an unrestricted permit, but calls in to make sure, during which they relay incorrect information about the weapons.
Hey, I need to run a subject that we're out with, who's carrying guns inside of a store. He gave us a handgun permit, but it's a handgun permit, an unrestricted handgun permit. He had a, what is this?
Bear Creek.
A Bear Creek
It's a
Short-
short barrel,
short barrel.
but it has the full grip. It's not the
But
butt style.
it has a,
Or the
I'm sorry, hang on.
short barrel rifle.
It's a short barrel rifle.
Again, this is a pistol, not an SBR. After determining that the man was permitted to carry and that all weapons were properly registered, they allowed him to leave.
Properly registered. No problem with it.
Okay.
And is he allowed to open carry that? Okay, he's looking at the permit to let us know.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what he got.
He said his permit is unrestricted and there's no concealed, so he can carry it the way he was carrying it.
But how about the handgun that he was concealing?
And then I also have a handgun that he was carrying in his waistband.
But that's under that.
But
Okay, then we're good to
that
go.
would be covered under that as well. Okay, yeah, he said any firearm. Okay. I want to hear.
Sure.
Yes,
sir. Yeah,
That's a pistol. I didn't know if you knew about it. I just wanted to.
Yep, and we contacted Maryland Gun Center and all. You're good to go. We're gonna give you your stuff back and send you on your way.
Well, my wife is actually on her way here. The door that I just bought from Lowe's won't fit in the car.
Oh, I
wait.
got you.
She's coming.
Okay.
She has that shit. So.
Look what you got to go through. Look, but just look what you got to go through. Because of their feelings. It's the law. You can open carry your gun anywhere you want. That's the law. That's the law. Code and policy, though, black codes, right, the color of law. You can't do nothing when they use black and African American and white. That's deprivation of rights under the color of law. And even if you get permission from them, this is what you got to go through. NATO, United Nations, Department of Justice, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Really? Really? Deprivation of rights under the color of law. 911. 911. Call 911. Police coming to violate your rights. They coming to terrorize you, harass you. That's what's going on. NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. That's your basic right to defend yourself. Your basic right as a human being is to defend yourself. But these people are stripping you of that right, your basic right to defend yourself. Getting a permit, that's stripping you of your right to defend yourself. You don't need a permit for nothing. You don't need a license for nothing. You don't need to register for nothing. That's all a violation of your human rights, your rights under the Constitution. Yeah, y'all don't understand it, but they do. They getting rich off of violating your rights. They getting rich off of violating the American people's rights. The United States is getting rich The United States, politicians, police, they're all getting rich. Bankers, they're all getting rich off of violating the American people's rights. I don't care what you believe, think, or none of that. And they use them to do it. They use them to do it. Understand that. They use them to do it.